Before we begin, I invite you to gently close your ears and focus on what remains when all external sounds fade away. It's like sitting in a quiet room, and after a while, you notice a subtle ringing or hum beneath the silence. If you listen closely, you'll start to experience this soft, constant presence, something that feels like the very fabric of reality itself. In quantum physics, it's said that everything is connected at the most fundamental level, and that everything we see is just a manifestation of deeper, unseen energy. What you are hearing, or rather feeling, is that same energy, that same field of potential. This subtle ringing is what we call the sound of silence. It's not just an abstract concept or some external force. It's the very essence of you. Everything we discuss in this session and the ones to come will be about this sound of silence. It is not something separate or different from you. It is you. This exploration is about realizing that the sound of silence is your own inner being, your most fundamental nature, the stillness from which all life arises. You are that, the very presence behind everything. I am unique and pure perceptive essence. Through this supreme decision, I fill light into the darkness of ignorance, becoming sorrowless and blessed. Unique means that which is one of its kind. Everything visible, whether living or non-living, is made from a single source, the material cause or substance. That substance is me. I exist both where there is form and where there is no form, which makes me unique. This essence, which is spoken of, could be addressed by any teacher or sage to anyone, regardless of their outward differences, as it is the same essence within all. The appearance of difference, such as between a teacher and a king, does not change the fact that they are both made of the same substance, the essence of which I am. When speaking of this essence, it is important to first understand who I am at the core. I must clarify what I means to grasp its depth fully. These words hold immense power, and if one understands them deeply, the truth will become clear. I am pure perceptive essence. Consciousness is something everyone possesses. If I were not conscious, who would know of the thoughts occurring, coming and going? Who would know about the dreams I experience? There is something that knows the sights, the smells, the sounds, everything that is perceived. This knowing presence is consciousness. It is not a person, but a substance that feels and knows all these experiences. We are all perceptive essence, and everything that happens occurs within it. Bad times come and go, and so do pleasurable ones, but I, the essence of all this, remain unaffected. If one pauses and reflects on this, they will begin to see the truth. This essence, which is unique, is not the experience that we typically associate with I. Most of us experience I as something separate, different from others, but the understanding of uniqueness comes when we experience the silence between thoughts. When considering the essence of my being, I realize that the very substance I am made of must be close to me, closer than anything else. It is the basis of my thoughts, always with me, even before I think. If my thoughts are close to me, what could be closer than the thoughts themselves? The very substance that gives rise to thought is that which is closest to me. This truth, when understood deeply, reveals the nature of I. Conscious, perceptive essence, unique and inseparable from the rest of creation. But understanding this truth does not happen immediately. One must first observe the subtleties of what exists beyond the effects of experience, beyond what is seen and heard. One must seek that which is not affected by these perceptions, something so subtle that it cannot be captured by the senses. The most subtle essence is not perceptible by the senses, but it is the foundation of everything. This essence cannot be tied down or captured by the senses, and it is the one which remains constant, regardless of the changes occurring in the material world. Space itself is an example of something subtle, but even space is not the most subtle essence. The essence I am referring to transcends all sensory perception and is the substance of everything. When one begins to comprehend this, the realization of I as unique and the same as the substance of creation becomes clear. This is the most profound realization one can have, the awareness that I am the very substance of all that exists, and that substance is perceptive essence, or consciousness. All forms, including the human body, are made from this substance, and while the body may decay, the substance remains. The body, like everything else in the material world, is subject to change, decay, and eventual dissolution. However, the substance from which the body is made, consciousness or perceptive essence, remains. For example, a pot may break, but the clay from which it is made remains. Likewise, even though bodies come and go, the substance of which they are made will never perish. This truth applies not only to individual bodies, but to the entire universe. Even if the universe were to end, the substance from which it is made would remain. Science may tell us that the universe began with a big bang, and it is conceivable that another such event could lead to its destruction, but this will not result in the destruction of the underlying substance. Just as water does not cease to exist when a flood occurs, the essence of the universe, the perceptive essence, cannot be destroyed. This realization, the understanding that I am the very substance of everything, is the most profound truth one can come to. Everything in the universe, whether visible or invisible, whether it lasts or perishes, is made of the same essence. This essence is conscious, and it is the consciousness that makes all perception possible. Though the universe may not exist as we know it tomorrow, the substance, the consciousness, the perceptive essence will endure. This essence is not separate from me. In truth, I am that essence. Everything is made of this same substance, and there is nothing else. I am not something separate from it. I am it. The material world, with all its forms and changes, is merely an expression of this underlying essence which remains constant and unchanging. Understanding this is the key to knowing who I truly am and to experiencing the depth of my being as unique, pure, perceptive essence. This truth, when realized, is the ultimate liberation from all the illusions of the material world.